Good morning, children. This is Aniruddha, Mount Literacy School Jhansi. This session is for class 12th NCERT book. The last chapter which we were reading was all about inheritance and variation. And in this chapter, this was chapter number 5. In this chapter, we had already studied most of the contents about this chapter. And the last content which we were reading was Mendelian disorders, in which we talked about hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, and phenylketonuria. And phenylketonuria was the last segment which we studied. Now, today we are going to start the chromosomal disorders, as we have already discussed about the Mendelian disorders. Now, we are going to start the chromosomal disorders. And in chromosomal disorders, there are two things which you will be reading. Number one will be aneuploidy. So I tell you first, if there is failure of segregation of chromatids during the cell division, if you remember class 11th cell cycle, there in that cell cycle there was a segment in which what happens, these are two sister chromatids. One single chromosome makes its own copy, and the second one chromosome also makes its own copy. In one particular cell, a pair of chromosome is present, and both the chromosomes make their one extra copy. And when they make their copy, both the chromosomes, one, the previous one, and the new one chromosome, they are known as sister chromatids. So these two are known as sister chromatids. And when the cell is about to divide, these sister chromatids segregate from each other. They separate from each other. So failure of segregation of chromatids during the cell division results in loss. It may be a loss. If at one place there is a loss, there will be one place there will be gain. So there will be either a loss or a gain in the chromosomes. That is known as aneuploidy. And when again you recall the cytokinesis of meiosis or mitotic process cell cycle chapter number in 11th class there was a chapter cell cycle, and in that you must have studied about the karyokinesis and cytokinesis. So after karyokinesis there was always cytokinesis. That means the division of cytoplasm also was very important after the division of chromosomes and nucleus. So if there is failure of cytokinesis and the chromosome has become doubled already, the DNA has done its replication or duplication process, and there is no cytokinesis, then one single cell contains two sets of chromosome. That means this will be the condition. Normally the condition of chromosome is this in one cell. But in this particular case, when the cytokinesis does not take place, then the condition becomes like this. Two sets of chromosome are there inside one single cell. This is known as polyploidy. So two conditions may arise. So number one, chromosomal disorder. This is Down's syndrome. In this, what happens? There is a trisomy of 21st chromosome. It is due to the presence of additional copy of a chromosome number 21st. You know that there are 23 chromosomes one side of chromosome, and there are 23 chromosome in another side of chromosome. Okay, and you know the 23rd, 22nd, 21, 20th, 19th, 18th, 17th, and so on. The chromosomes are arranged in such a manner. So 21st chromosome, third, second, first. This is 21st chromosome. So what happens in 21st chromosome? Another also chromosome comes and attaches. So in one single cell, there will be now one 21st chromosome, another 21st chromosome, and one more chromosome comes. So this is known as the trisomy of 21st chromosome. And the affected individual is mostly short-statured. The height is very small. The head is small and rounded. The tongue is furrowed. The mouth is partially opened. The mental development of the child is retarded, and he is or she is most of the time always saliva. That means from mouth the saliva is coming out. The next is Klinefelter syndrome. Due to the presence of an additional copy of X chromosome. Normally what happens, this is a male, suppose a male cell of a male person, and 23rd chromosome, one side is X, so another side 23rd chromosome will be Y. Definitely you know about this. So what happens in such people, those who are suffering from Klinefelter syndrome, they have one extra copy of X. So such person mostly is masculine. That person is mostly masculine, but feminine development also takes place in them, such as development of breast, which is also known as gynecomastia. This kind of characters are also expressed in such people. These Klinefelter syndrome, such person are sterile and they are unable to produce children. Next, the third one is Turner's syndrome. Turner's syndrome is a condition in which one X chromosome is absent in the individual. One X chromosome is absent in the individual. And Klinefelter syndrome, one extra X was present, and in Turner's syndrome, as we have 46 chromosomes, so they have only 45 chromosomes. Klinefelter syndrome, they have 47 chromosomes because of one extra X copy, and Turner's syndrome, they have only one X copy, and another side of 23 there is nothing which is present. Okay, that is why they have absence of one X chromosome and they have only 45 chromosome instead of 46. Such are the females, and they are sterile because their ovary is rudimentary, and they lack secondary sexual characters also, and they are also sterile. They are unable to produce any child further. This is all about chromosomal disorders. We studied about all the chromosomal disorders, and this chapter finishes here. Next, we will be talking about the next chapter, the molecular basis of inheritance, in the next session. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.